In the last class, I started with the portability and interoperability. Good morning, Shiri. So last class, I started with this portability and interoperability chapter. This is all about how consumers can move from one cloud provider to another and how their applications work together, which are uh, stored in multiple clouds. This chapter, we are in the middle of this chapter, portability and interoperability issues. All right, so portability, it is the ability to move an entity from one system to another without compromising its usability. Portable, um, from one cloud platform to another cloud platform. Interoperability, it is a measure of the degree to which dissimilar systems or components can work together. You have one application on one cloud and another application on another cloud, and how they can interoperate. This application 1 is by provider 1, application 2 provider 2, and how they can interoperate, work together, can communicate. Okay, so this all things addressing portability. Uh, it is about data portability, application portability, and platform portability. Data. If suppose I have students' data on AWS, I want to move to from AWS to Azure or Google Cloud Platform (GCP). Is the data stored in this AWS can directly be moved to any one of this? It's a data portability. Application portability, if you have a program or an application, can we move that application from one platform to another without making any or minimal changes? Application. Platform portability, if you are on if you are using a platform or .NET platform, Java platform, and some operating systems, can you move that also? And then how about addressing interoperability? There are two types: application interoperability and platform interoperability. Application, one program to another program. Platform, one um, environment to another environment. Okay, this is the topic that we have to continue with. These are the scenarios given, and in this scenario, a problem is specified. Like in scenario 1, customer switches the cloud service provider. This is the scenario. You are the customer, suppose. Customer 1. Okay, and AWS is one cloud platform, Azure is another cloud platform, Google Cloud Platform GCP is another cloud platform. Okay, so customer, now C1 customer switches from Azure to GCP, say. Then what are the issues that need to be addressed with respect to portability and interoperability? Uh, Here, Portable considerations, changing SaaS provider. SaaS, what is SaaS provider? Software as a service. Uh, it means that switching from one SaaS application to another equivalent SaaS application. It is about software as a service. If you are using software, say any Java, and you are moving from Azure to Google Cloud platform, if both have the same software available, then we can directly switches. Customer can directly switches without any glitches. What do you mean by data portability? This arises from three aspects. What are the three aspects? Data format, extent, and semantics of the data. If the data format is not compatible with the another mm, provider, then portability issue arises. Semantics, extent, this all related to data. The type of data should be same for both service A and service B, as shown in this figure. Look at here, consumer is in cloud service provider A. On this service provider A, their service is cloud service A. They are presently the consumers of this. Now they switches from A to B. This is service provider B and cloud service B. So this customer consumer can switch from service A to service B in case if both the uh, format, extent, and semantics are same. If they are not same, then what happens? They need to convert the format into the appropriate one. And there is one format which is XML, extensible markup language. If a provider uses this XML, this can eliminate portability concerns as it is same for multiple providers. As is a low level facility and does not bring any data portability issue, because that is about the platform. As service is the platform, the hardware. Um, for as or PaaS consumer, application portability is of utmost importance while changing providers. Application portability is important because at as level, the question is whether two providers support same virtual machines. We know that consumers or customers, when they take services of cloud, then a virtual machine is allocated. Whether both the providers support the same virtual machine and if the virtual machine architecture are similar. That is the question that need to be addressed when you are talking about application portability. Virtual machine includes processor, memory, and therefore a new format was developed, which is known as open virtualization format. Mama, this open virtualization format, it resolves the uh, machine porting problem. If there is an open virtualization format, like in networks we have a ISO OSI model, ISO's OSI model, open service interconnection. This is an open format which can be used by any machine connected to the network. All right, like that you have an OVF format. This OVF format supports any provider if they follow the same format. If provider 1 and provider 2 both are using open virtual format, then switching from one to another gets quite easy because both the format is same. And at PaaS level, PaaS is platform as a service. Concern is about operating system and the application development environment. If you are on P1, provider 1, and their operating system is Linux, and their platform is, if suppose if it is Java, JDK version 1.8 or something, or I think now JDK 5 is running. So the latest version, whatever is the latest version, okay. So some JDK format, not format, version, the current version. And if you are switching to provider 2, and if their operating system is Windows, and there they have a JDK which is older than the this version and does not support the new features, then when you port from this platform to this platform, application may not work, may not operate properly. All right. So these are the uh, problems when arising when you are moving or shifting from one platform to another platform. What are the interoperability considerations? This is about for SaaS, the application used by consumer belongs to or delivered by service provider, right? Software as a service. Hence, no question arises for the first provider, SaaS, to be interoperable with the and second service provider, say provider B. Since switching of SaaS service provider means switching of SaaS application. And new provider will have their own versions of the SaaS application, right? This, with respect to SaaS, essentially the interoperability may not be possible. They have their own formats. Provider A has got its own for SaaS application format. Provider B has got its own, and therefore switching um, may not be possible because of their own versions. All right. So the interoperability concerns for SaaS, PaaS, and AS level application porting to other cloud environment arises due to API interoperability issues. When you are using an API of uh, one version, API of another version may not be exactly similar. For instance, Python 2.7 and Python 3.5, they don't interoperate. 1 minute. Okay, sorry. So that is about this one, SaaS, PaaS, and AS. Interoperability. Interoperability. Let me give you an analogy. There is one person who understands language one, another person understands language two. They can't interoperate. They can't communicate. If they both have the same language, say language three, then they can. Like that, there is an application one on one platform, there is an application 2 on another platform. They may not directly interoperate unless they have some open standards, and they have there is no compatibility problem with their versions. All right. The next one, a customer uses cloud service from multiple providers. In scenario 2, customer uses cloud services from multiple providers concurrently. If you have two SIM cards, one from Airtel, another from Idea, say, uh, it is like that. A customer is using concurrently multiple providers, AWS and GCP. Its application has been installed on this both cloud providers, cloud services. So now what are the issues? First one, here there are two cases under this scenario. Customer uses two services of different providers having equivalent functionalities. Okay, this is done to increase flexibility. In case one of the providers would face, some kind of service disruption, second one, whose services are to serve different functionalities. This is in the first one, consumer uses two services of different providers having equivalent functionalities. Two services of different providers. These two are different providers. This customer is using the services of this and this. In this, the advantage is flexibility. What is the flexibility? In case this service is down, then this can be utilized. In case if this is down, this can be utilized. This can happen only if they support same functionality. And even here we have this data portability problem. If client is uh, storing same format data on both, it may not support. All right. So data portability problem may arise, and this figure illustrates that consumer is using both service A and service B. So data portability at ICE level, it is not a problem because this is at infrastructure level, and the data format is also in the hands of consumer. If consumer go for as service, then many tasks have to be done by the consumer, right? SaaS service means there is no control over as and SaaS. A PaaS service, there is no control on these two. There is a control on this. If it is as service, then there is a control on PaaS, SaaS. So it depends at which level consumer is using the service. And application portability appears at pass level, because pass level means platform is provided by the um, provider, cloud service provider, and customer do not have any control over it. Interoperability considerations also exist in this, because if the application on these two providers, GCP, they can, if they cannot communicate this, if this is not possible, then interoperability consideration arises. And when both the service deal with equivalent functionalities, it is likely that um, customer components will interact with those services. Okay, in that case, both services must have same interoperable interface. Otherwise, they have to be modified. Okay, students, the problem is in 2 minutes I will join. Okay, sorry about that. So, scenario 3. Let us look at scenario 3. Customer links one cloud service to another cloud service. What happened in scenario 1? Customer switched from one cloud service to another cloud service. Like from Airtel, you are moving to Idea, or some, just consider, for instance, like that customer moving from one cloud service to another cloud service. That was scenario 1. What were the issues? Portability, interoperability, data format, semantics, and application portability. Then scenario 2, customer uses cloud service from multiple providers concurrently. At the same time, customer is using two services. Now, what is the third scenario? Customer links one cloud service to another cloud service. As depicted in this figure, customer uses service cloud provider A, service A, and service B by service provider B. Okay, this is service B by provider B. This is service A by provider A. Now, customer has linked these two services from A to B. It's like an application process the data and sends the result to this one for further processing, or collaborate on particular task. All right. Now consider customer is familiar to work under PaaS facility, and you know provider A offers SaaS facility and fulfill maximum of customers' business needs. Then what happens? Here one is providing SaaS and another one is providing S. Okay, so what happens is the end product, means the final product, is a customized SaaS application running on cloud service A that gets additional statistics from the developed solution over the service of provider B. This is how they are collaborating. Um, from cloud service A, SaaS application that gets additional statistics from the developed solution over the service of provider B. The provider B is sending some information to A, and then A uh, develops the end product. This is how the applications are linked up. And under this scenario, portability issue does not arise as no entity is effectively being transferred from one cloud service to another. When you are transferring, only then portability issue arises. When you are not transferring, uh, you have an application 1 transferred to application 2, um, means provider 1 and provider 2. Then the portability problem arises. Here there is no transfer. Here both will work together. This application A and application B, they are linked, and only perhaps some information or data may be sent, but application is not transferred, so there is no portability issue. And interoperability consideration, if the first cloud service A is either as or PaaS and the application is developed by consumer, then it is likely that user had full control over the application. Thus, it becomes easier to utilize the APIs of the second cloud service. You know what happens? The situation becomes complex when first service is SaaS offering, then the application is not developed by the customer to use the APIs of second cloud service. The SaaS application must be properly structured. In case it is as means customer has control over all the other layers on top of it, PaaS and SaaS. If it is not if it is just SaaS, then customer do not have any control. Customer just uh, plug in the application and then execute it. All right. So that problem will arise only when it is SaaS and both are different offerings. And the same can be said about second cloud service. If it is as or PaaS, then user will have control on APIs. If it is SaaS, APIs are directly directed by the service provider. Okay, scenario 4. In scenario 4, customer links in-house capabilities with the in scenario 4, customer linking in-house capabilities with cloud services. Customer has a application. In-house application means this is customers um, you know development. Customer has developed an application in-house means within the enterprise, within the organization. Customer has some computing facilities or some application within the customer's office. Okay, this is in-house. And then there is a cloud provider. There is an application or computing in terms of as PaaS or SaaS. Essentially, customer can use the services. How to link up this? This is in-house and this is cloud service. In-house and cloud service should be linked up. So capacity of in-house computing facilities can be enhanced by linking it with some cloud service. In such scenario, interoperability is the concern, as the important thing here is to establish the connection between existing on-premises application and new cloud deployment. Whatever is here may not be directly connected to this cloud service, as they may not be compatible. That is the problem. That is the concern that need to be addressed. All right. If they are similar, then it's fine. They can interact. And this integration process, on premises functionality and data will have to be clearly identified, and the same has to be done at the cloud end. And then there must be well defined API, after which these two can be connected. And for SaaS facilities, the API descriptions are most important since it is fully controlled by the provider. Okay. SaaS is fully controlled by the provider. In SaaS, what happens is um, consumer only has control over the application which it is installing on the platform. It cannot have any. Like for instance, Twitter. On Twitter, Twitter has got one API. If you want to extract all the tweets related to US elections or floods, for any topic, if you would like to retrieve the tweets, then that Twitter has got this API open for anyone who would like to interact with the Twitter application. So that API, we don't have control over it. The Twitter only, that enterprise has the control over it. We can just call it. So that's in, whenever there is integration with respect to SaaS, the problem is that API is given by the provider. Consumer does not have any control over the API. Okay, this one we will machine image or virtual machine image we will look at tomorrow. Okay, any doubts in today's class? Okay, then see you. Bye.